All right, let's dive right in. Welcome, students of Europe Hotel School. Today, we're immersing ourselves in the absolute bedrock of hospitality management, employment contracts, and labor law. Set against the backdrop of world-class hotel operations, this explainer is crafted to give you the practical, foundational knowledge you need to actually lead effectively.
Hello and welcome. I am a hotel AI expert with extensive experience in modern hospitality operations and performance support. I am pleased to welcome all students of Europe Hotel School to your online learning journey. We look forward to supporting your professional growth in the hospitality industry. So, what are we really looking at today? Together, we're taking these complex, sometimes intimidating legal frameworks and breaking them down into actionable, strategic insights that you're going to use every single day in your careers.
Here's our roadmap for this explainer. We'll quickly cover the foundation of employment, move right into core and seasonal staffing, explore flexible hotel staff, uncover a few hidden rules, and wrap up with how all this becomes your ultimate leadership tool.
Section 1. The foundation of employment. Let's step right up to the front desk and look at where it all begins. In this fast-paced industry, absolute flexibility and crazy diverse roles are just par for the course, right? Because of that, an employment contract is way more than just a piece of paper you sign on day one and shove in a drawer. Think of it as a mutually protective shield. It's a structured agreement that lays out expectations, responsibilities, and rights. It gives both the hotel and the employees some much-needed stability. Getting a grip on this is absolutely crucial for operating ethically, legally, and efficiently. It's a core principle emphasized right here at Europe Hotel School. At a bare minimum, labor law demands transparency. A solid hospitality agreement has to explicitly state who the employer is, who the employee is, and exactly what the compensation looks like. But in a hotel, we really have to dig deeper. Whether you're mapping out the unpredictable shift patterns of a night auditor or locking down the strict confidentiality of VIP concierge needs, getting these expected duties in writing is a total game changer. It drastically cuts down on misunderstandings and stops operational disputes before they even have a chance to start. Moving on to Section 2. Core and seasonal staffing. Let's head into the heart of the hotel to see how we actually build our teams.
Think of permanent employment contracts as the stabilizing force of your entire property. Like the name implies, these agreements typically don't have an end date. You're going to use these for your core operational roles, so your front office supervisors, department heads, engineers, that sort of thing. Legally speaking, these team members get much stronger protections, especially when it comes to notice periods, redundancy, or unfair dismissal. For the hotel, these contracts are the glue. They build the continuity, the skill development, and the organizational culture that keeps your guests coming back time after time. But let's be real, hospitality is incredibly cyclical. That's where fixed-term contracts come into play. These have very clear, specific start and end dates. They're absolutely perfect for project-based roles, covering maternity leave, or dealing with those massive spikes in demand over the summer or the holidays. But a quick word of caution here. Labor law keeps a very close eye on fixed-term contracts to stop employers from abusing them. You can't just keep renewing short-term contracts over and over to avoid giving someone permanent status. As future managers, you've got to respect those boundaries to keep your flexibility totally above board. So, putting these two pillars side by side, the strategy gets pretty clear. Permanent contracts are your anchor for continuity with core staff, while fixed-term contracts give you that breathing room for seasonal ebbs and flows, all within strictly regulated limits. Mastering the balance between these two is exactly how you staff a world-class property without crossing any legal lines. Next up, managing flexible hotel staff. Let's step into the banquet hall, a space completely driven by fluctuating demand.
We all know hotels never sleep. We're operating 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That means we need staffing flexibility at totally different times of the day. Enter the part-time contract. These obviously involve fewer working hours than full-time roles, but here is the absolutely critical takeaway. Labor law vehemently protects part-time workers from being treated as second-class citizens just because they work fewer hours. By law, they get proportional access to rights like leave and rest periods. So to make this work smoothly, you need rock-solid scheduling and crystal-clear communication to keep morale high. Then you have the wild card, casual and on-call contracts. Imagine suddenly booking a massive, unexpected 500-person VIP banquet. You need ultimate flexibility. Now, these contracts don't guarantee regular weekly hours, but the second the work is offered and accepted, boom, an employment relationship exists. And because there's no guarantee of work, regulators watch these arrangements like a hawk. They want to make sure workers aren't being unfairly denied stability or essential benefits. You really have to make sure what's on paper matches what's actually happening on the floor. Balancing these flexible options is a true leadership skill. Part-time roles give you scheduled, predictable flexibility, where your main job is managing morale and proportional rights. Casual roles, on the other hand, give you that amazing on-demand power for big events, but they definitely invite a lot of legal scrutiny. Nailing this balance is literally essential for any leader dealing with shifting hotel occupancy.
All right, moving on to hidden rules and contractors. We're heading into the back office to navigate some of the legal fine print.
There is a massive legal distinction between an employee and an independent contractor. Contractors are the folks you bring in for external, highly specialized services, like a lobby pianist or maybe an IT consultant. They are not employees. But here's the trap a lot of managers fall into. The law looks at the reality of the relationship, not just the title. If you start dictating that guest pianist's break times, putting them on your strict roster, and controlling their every move, the law might just decide they're actually an employee. Misclassifying someone can lead to incredibly serious legal and financial headaches for your property.
And we've got to look beyond the ink on the page, too. Every single hospitality contract has what we call implied terms. These are legally binding principles that apply even if nobody ever bothered to write them down. We're talking about a baseline of mutual trust and confidence between the hotel and the staff member. We're talking about the employer's strict duty of care and the absolute non-negotiable obligation to provide a safe workplace. Even if you draft a 50-page contract, you cannot dodge these fundamental rules. They are literally the invisible glue holding your entire operation together.
Finally, let's step into the executive conference room for our last section, the ultimate leadership tool.
Honestly, the way you look at contracts is going to define your entire leadership style. It is so easy to just see them as annoying administrative burdens. But as you've been learning at Euro Hotel School, mastering these contracts is a foundational skill. A well-drafted contract is actually a powerhouse management tool. It drives consistency across every single department, it guarantees fairness for your hardworking staff, keeps you strictly legally compliant, and gives you the agility to handle whatever the hospitality industry throws at you.
Which brings us to a final thought for you to carry forward into your careers. As a future hospitality leader, will you view employment contracts merely as a legal hurdle you just have to jump over, or will you embrace them as your absolute strongest tool for building a world-class hotel culture? The choice and the ultimate success of your property is entirely in your hands. Thanks so much for joining this explainer, and we wish you incredible success on your continuing learning journey.